everyone, and once again, welcome to K-Tapes. This week, I'm showing you a little video store I've been to down south of Seoul, which is about, I would say, 40 minutes away by train, and by that I mean by bullet train, from Seoul. So it's called, the little city is called Daejeon, and you've seen the videos before that I posted about 2 months ago where I went to two stores, one which was like a bookstore downstairs, like a basement, and the other one which was a little shop held by an old lady. This one is another store that is nearby those two other stores, also in Daejeon, of course, and it's a little store on the main street right next to the train station. So here you have the store with what they have in the store, VCDs, CDs, VCRs and things like that. And when you go inside, you can see it's wall-to-wall videotapes. But again, and look at just down the bottom, you have like a whole bunch of units, like those old VCRs and receivers and whatnot, and even like maybe DVD players in there. I didn't dare asking how much he was charging those, because, by the way, this store may seem cool, but the prices are not, okay? Maybe once upon a time they were great, but I asked the guy, I said, like, how much are the tapes? And of course he said, it depends. So he gave me like a range, and he said it's between 10 and 100. So he said like between Manon and Shimmanon, which means 10,000 won up to 100,000 won. So roughly, let's say it's about $10 to $100. And the guy is not really like a tape or movie curator. So for him, what is worth 100 is maybe not what is worth 100 for me and you. And yeah, the tapes that are perhaps $10 or $20 are maybe worth way more in your eyes than his eyes, of course. Just to give you an idea, I think a tape that was $100 was something like Roman Holiday or some like old classics from like the 50s, 60s. So yeah. Anyway, that said, you can tell, although he does have like a bunch of tapes there, all of them are really sun-faded on the spine. And that is something, I mean, that you need to know if you come to South Korea. By now you know because you've seen my videos, but this is your typical like inventory, I would say, of tapes. Like whenever I find tapes in the wild and I buy them, they always turn up a bit like this, you know, like you will have a few of them that are unfaded. But the big majority are faded, just like in this store. So yeah, I showed you like a bit on the wall on the left. You can tell like here's the owner. Quite nice guy though, although like I said, the prices are not really my cup of tea. But really nice guy. He was quite helpful, to be honest, because I had like tapes I wanted to reach at the very top of a shelf, and he just brought down the ladder to help me out. So really nice guy, and he's a big fan of fishing. So I think he closed down his store down like maybe around 3 p.m. and he goes fishing. So here we have like a James Bond film. But yeah, I would have bought it, although like I'm not ready to pay like $20 for that. Like really, no. So yeah, the selection is quite okay, I would say. If they were much cheaper than that, I would say I would probably buy a couple there. But the price point is really what turned me off in this particular shop. So here you have like what he calls the classics. Of course, you have Les Miserables, you have like other like old classics, and it's a bit mixed up, to be honest. Like if you just check around, you'll find tapes like Korean movies, then you'll find like erotica, then you'll find like a bunch of kung fu. But if you go at the back of the store, like this shelving unit right here is where I found like most of the cool stuff. And this is like the only tapes I bought in this shop were from this place especially. Oh, and by the way, I bought a couple in that pile down there, which were like still sealed, by the way. Although they had like some sun fade, but they were sealed. So yeah, this was like perhaps the most interesting, I would say, selection of titles was in that area of the shop. And it goes up to the ceiling. And he helped me with the ladder on that particular part. I wanted like 2 tapes up there, really out of reach. But he helped me with the ladder, so very, very nice of him. So yeah, if you happen to go to Daejeon, I mean, maybe it's worth a stop if you're around. But yeah, this place is worth a look. So thanks for checking, and see you again next time.